Hello. It's stream. It's stream time. Yeah. So, hello. How you doing? Doing all right? Hope so. Music. Let's get some music for the background of the stream. Probably going to do this for 5 minutes because I forgot to do it. Forgot to load it up beforehand because I'm like that. Whatever. What's good? What's good for this? I don't know what's good for this. What is good? What's good for nothing? Good for nothing music streaming stuff. One of these days I will actually write some background music for this stuff, but until then we have to skirt the fringes of copyright. Try and work out what I won't get sued for. Dear. It's a tightrope. Grim Fandango. Ah! That's loud. Sure. That'll work. Turn that down a bit. It's mostly soft jazz. One day I will play Grim Fandango. I have the soundtrack. I have the game. I've experienced more of the soundtrack than I have the game anyway. Right. What's going on? What is actually happening in this stream? So, I am what I am. Was that Rene Descartes or was that Popeye? Who knows? Sorry, I'm just reordering windows on the thing. On the screen so that I can see everything. There we go. Planning. Planning ahead. It's good stuff. Right, so this was my warm-up doodle, by the way. So the idea of this stream is I have some comics vaguely in mind regarding a bunch of people from October and Company going out for a sort of office dinner sort of thing. And I want to come up with some outfits for them other than their work clothes, because I don't know, I have some standards. Not many, but some. So I want to work that out at some point. Let's start with the easy ones, which include Griff, because Griff is almost always in suit mode. Okay. How to draw Griff. Start with the circle where the head should be. Turn that up a tad. Have a sort of vague lean back sort of shape. Or thrust forwards if you prefer. Okay, here's where the neck stuff would be. Let's not have his old arms folded, because we want to see the... Let's have his hands in his pockets. So, I imagine Griff just wears the same clothes that he ordinarily would, but with a jacket on. I'm guessing that's the sort of limit of his desire to wear casual clothes out. I do recommend as a little exercise, try and draw somebody as you normally would, and then erase all of their body and see whether or not the clothes still make sense, because they tend not to. You tend to sort of excuse yourself with the things that go behind body parts, but at least in my experience. So drawing Griff is quite good for working out how a collar should actually work. Would he take his tie off? Maybe, might do. Hello, Christy. Hey, how's it go? I got an influx of messages from you on Patreon, because I usually go on there and there's maybe there's a message, maybe there's two or whatever. Went on there, I was like 10. My word, what's happened? It's just you going through and liking things. Thank you, but you scared me. Yeah, so this is where Hans would be. He's wearing gloves, it's fine. Yeah, that goes alongside my other tip, which would be to draw a character in a sort of orthographic view. So sort of flat on, no perspective or anything. Just take the silhouette of that picture and then try and draw the same image but from behind. If it's orthographic, you should have it spot on. But you'll probably find that things aren't quite in the right proportion or the right position. I did that once before, that was fun. Turns out, drawing, not as easy as you'd think. I'd still be tucked in, wouldn't it? I always feel a bit weird giving tips about drawing, because it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why would I know what I'm doing? This is the problem when you keep things to be relatively simple shapes. How do they move in 3D? I don't know, it was just a shape. I only drew the outline. Yes. So, another thing I'm going to do, I don't think I've mentioned as much before, I'm going to try and do a bit more stuff for Patreon. A bit more sort of time lapses and little videos about tips and tricks and stuff. Hopefully I can organise that into the schedule somewhere in exchange for less time working on stickers, because stickers are going to be discontinued at the end of the year. Going to do discovering all your mistakes, but also learning is fun. It is good to realise, oh, okay, that's a mistake I didn't realise I was... That's the interesting thing with art, is that you don't realise you're making the mistakes, and once you've learned sufficiently to be able to notice them, you see them all over the place. It's like when you look back at art from when you were 13 or whatever, and you're like, how did I think this was acceptable? But that's just an indication that you've learned a lot. So why am I not using a smaller brush? I don't know. Probably because this is a cartoony thing and it doesn't matter all that much. He's probably got it a bit folded up there. It's Chib. Hello, and Chib. How goes you too? Whose outfit is this? Give you a clue. I'm not going to draw the rest of this face. I thought I'd start with an easy one, because I can't imagine Griff's wardrobe is particularly extensive. How many times have I drawn Griff and I still can't do the glasses properly? There's that guy who wears button-ups everywhere. Yeah. Yes, I was just saying before you got here, a fun thing I've sort of learned drawing Griff is how incorrectly I was drawing collars in terms of angle. So a little idea would be to sort of draw a character as you normally would, and then draw them as if they were invisible. And So you can just sort of erase the bits where there's a body, and then you'll see how you've sort of not drawn things properly going behind the person because you don't think about it because it's going behind. But it turns out that angle's wrong. This isn't going fantastically. Speaking of which... While also having hyper-realistic arms with invisible tattoos. I was considering putting in a joke about tattoos, because I do actually have a small run of comics that are tattoo-related. About Griff having... Well, I was considering putting one in there about Griff having tattoos, but I feel like that's just... I'm just stealing jokes from you guys at this point. Yeah, so there are some characters I can sort of get the idea of what they would wear elsewhere, but not many, honestly. Also, yeah, doesn't matter too much. Oh, and this was my warm-up doodle, by the way, because I don't know why not. It's almost October, the actual month, and I haven't got anything planned related to October, and I probably should, but I don't. I like the idea that everyone thinks that Griff's tattoos are invisible, but they're actually just underneath the sleeves. He lifts them up. No, the ink isn't invisible. Oh, could you tattoo someone with invisible ink? Is that a thing? That makes your arm disappear. So, okay, who next? That was simple. Easy start. See, I don't know what Tori would wear. I imagine relatively casually, sort of a fitness boy. Likes doing his upper body strength bits and bobs. Griffin's actually an invisible person, he just has invisible tattoos everywhere. There we are. Lore! I was trying to think of interesting ways to sort of develop those ideas of characters. Of like the Invisible Man, like how could you make that a thing? How could you reinvent that? Hopefully not the kind of thing you see in movies where you have to use fire to reveal it. Yes, if Griff ever stands too close to fire, you can see him perfectly. You roast Griff. I don't know, let's just draw a Tori, see what happens. I still don't really know how to draw these characters, to be honest, again, because their design is so simplistic. The actual sort of 3D structure eludes me slightly. I did have a crack at trying to make a 3D model of October, which didn't work out too badly. October, I think, is the one that makes the most sense in 3D. Albeit a bit stretchy and unusual proportions and such. Maybe he's got a different nose ring in. I don't know. Another thing, little art tip, and this is mostly for future me. When you're designing characters, if you give them beady eyes, it's very difficult to work out where they're looking without some sort of reference, like eyebrows. So, you know, oh look, he's looking to the left, and now he's looking straight forwards. The eyes don't tell you anything. You need context. For some reason, your first thought for Tori's clothes went to sweaters. Maybe. Don't know why, but your warm-up drawing made your head think of Octo popping out of a giant pumpkin like a cake. Oh, that's kind of cute. I don't really know. Like, the obvious reason that October's called October is because spooky. But I don't really know the in-universe reason. The old reason used to be back in the Sailor Moore days, which is the comic that they were going to be in. The comic would have begun with them waking up in like an open grave with a smashed headstone, and the only thing on the grave was the word October, and they were just like, "Oh, that's my name." And just everybody else going, "That's not a name, that's a month." And so I don't know what the actual reason is in this universe, because that's not happened. Cozy 80s lame dad sweaters. Feel free to throw references at me. Think Tori would wear a lot of comfy clothes that constantly get lost. Might as well be comfy while you're at it. Maybe. It works. I think that works quite well with... Why am I spending so long drawing this? It's also not exactly right. Works quite well with the sort of context of how Tori appears in that comic, or that series of comics. I also kind of regret the name Tori. It's a bit on the nose. Tori the Minotaur. Tori the Tor. Minery the Tori mine. Which is the same reason I'm reluctant to use Slimefren as as the name for the blob. One of these days I will get a consistent notion of proportion for these characters. It's very top heavy. And Luna isn't on the nose. There's at least one degree of separation there. I didn't call her Airwool or something. Also, I had to backtrack on that one because she's not a werewolf, because it's day. So she's a wolf woman. It's fine. So in the end, I just started stealing them from the original source material, hence Griff. I don't know what's going on with this drawing right now. I haven't drawn anything today, apart from that. That's the only thing I drew prior to the stream. And there are other occasions where I just go, yeah, sure, Jekyll, hide. It'd be annoying to have to reintroduce that concept every single time that character comes along. Or those characters, I should say. It never looks right. Being so top wide. Don't keep aspect ratio. Thank you very much, Clip Studio. Yes, this is the Grim Fandango soundtrack, a game I will probably eventually play on stream, but have yet to. Got the perfect Dorito ratio. That's why he's actually called Tori. It's the Doritori. His last name's Odd. It's an anagram. holding a drink, why not? The only time I ever draw pint glasses is when I draw Malachi with a pint glass of something, and there's usually like a cocktail umbrella in it because that's Malachi. Pint glass with a cocktail umbrella. So every time I draw a pint glass, I'm like, draw the umbrella. Again, you locate the shoulder, you locate the hand, you work out how long the arm should roughly be. So about that long, the bicep, you then sort of draw your circle around the main bit of the arm, in perspective preferably, like that. And then the same thing for this, perspective like that, and there, that's where the elbow should be. Geometry, it's great. Art tips with Crispy. Don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. Art tips with Crispy. One day I'll learn anatomy. Art tips with Crispy. Thought you were going pretty short for Torito now. So far-fetched, I've had more obscure names than that, don't worry about it. Like PD, for example. To be fair, PD's not that obscure. It's just, see, I can't even remember what it is. It's, it's Professor something. Professor something beginning with D. Was the first solid literary reference I could find for a head in a jar. The brain in a jar is more nebulous, but that's why it's PD. Funnily enough, that's actually also why it's Purdy. The plague doctor. Just PD, plague doctor. Purdy. Sort of sprang into my mind. Stream a day. Art tips with Crispy. Welcome to Art Tips with Crispy. I will exclusively exhaust every single art tip I know. So join me for this series of videos running from Monday to Tuesday. Purdy and PD are named after the same person. No, Professor... What's the name? The head is the book I think is called The Head of Professor something, and I can't remember the name. But I just took the initials of Professor Dominic, not Dominic, as PD and just called the character PD. But Purdy is named after Plague Doctor, with the initials are also PD, Plague Doctor. So Dow, that's it, Professor Dow. Yeah, so the head of Professor Dow was, I believe, the first instance of a head in a jar in a book. And PD is a brain in a jar, and the brain in a jar is a bit more difficult to track down. So I couldn't be bothered. Claudio's just Claudia. I've had that character for ages. Don't know about it. Eurydice, I looked through a long list of ancient Egyptian queen names, and I found Eurydice. So, it's nice. I'm smart to know what you're talking about. I actually did that again for the... I finally came up with the story for the male characters, the Wendigo and the one made of wood, that we designed on stream a while ago. And so I wanted to find a name for the Wendigo, so I looked for a bunch of Native American names that were appropriate, and there was one which was He Who Has Big Teeth. I thought, that works. Can't remember what it was, though. I shortened it again. Egyptian Queen makes sense, so your mind goes to the Legend of Orpheus. Yeah, the name made the rounds around that time, but it was on a list of Egyptian queens, so I ran with it. It was the one that seemed the nicest, which, I guess, goes to show my personal taste is not necessarily in line with the personal taste of the people of ancient Egypt. Which is fair enough. Yeah, outfit. Your head looks a bit too big. There, Tori. It's difficult to judge the size of Tori's head because it's mostly horns. And it does tend to upset the balance a tad. So we get some sort of sweatery thing. I don't think he'd like a turtleneck. No turtleneck, just oversized sweater, yeah. I feel like I might have something on it. I'm not sure what yet, but... You listen to Discord of books and pop culture Christy needs to know. I mean, I'm not gonna... Oh, right, we're talking about Hades Town, yeah. Every time you see Yuri, you're reminded of the music. Makes sense. I don't know. I just like the name Yuri. Yes. So, what else are we doing? Who else is there whose name I haven't laboriously explained? Because I do try and look these things up. You know, like Nessie. Nessie's actual name, Nissiag or whatever it is. I don't know how you pronounce it. That is just the Scottish name for the Loch Ness Monster. October, I just mentioned that, the smashed gravestone thing. I think that's why we were talking about it. Where, who else though? Slime Janitor, we still don't know his name. We're still trying to work it out. A lot of them don't have names, but I feel like the Blob should. Thinking where that seemed to wear maybe shorts. No, or like jog trousers or something. Little. Sweaters and shorts is an unusual combination, but I feel like Tori would do it. Oh, hang on, with like big socks. What about the other janitor? Again, that's just a skeleton. It's not really a... He just reminds me of Scruffy from Futurama, which is why I haven't done much with him. Because I don't like doing... If I realise that my character is similar to another character, I tend to lose interest in them. Because I'm like, plagiarism. Which is why I don't do an awful lot of study of character development and stuff. He probably wears like some nice trainers or something. Tori's a strange one. I wasn't expecting their outfit to turn out this way. But here we are. Tori the fashion, Tori the something. Fashion warning, maybe? Hey, you like what you like. Does look a little bit like a PE teacher now. That said, I could see Tori as a PE teacher, the nice one that can't get you to do anything. chaotic enough to scream Tori, but also you definitely have been in this outfit. Fair enough. My wardrobe is very conservative in the sense that it's mostly just black t-shirts and trousers. So I don't have a jumper. I have a cardigan because I'm 50, but other than that. Still feel like there should be something on the sweater, or on the jumper. I'm going to say trainers, I'm going to say jumper. Because I'm English and I'm stubborn. Sometimes your upper body is cold, but also legs warm. They've got strong calves. Don't need. They can warm themselves. Is it weird to talk about calves when you're talking about a Minotaur? I saw a thing the other day. Do centaurs eat human or horse food? Like, could they eat grass? Do they have a horse stomach? You wear second-hand clothes with holes and paint blobs on them. You're very professional. That sounds wonderful. Buy second-hand clothes. It's good for the old planet. Well, okay, that's not exactly what I expected to be drawing today, but there's a Tori. Who next? Luna. Luna already dresses quite casual. Some wah trumpet going in the background to accompany my lack of thought. The old planet, get on, Mother Nature. Get on, Mother Nature. We gotta look after her, you know. You don't know if Luna just a different coloured shirt? I don't know. I feel like I was trying to think what these characters do prior to them. What they do after they get home from work, or if they got a week off or whatever. And I feel like Luna just collapses. Like Luna's got so much she has to deal with at work that she's just like, nothing. I'm doing nothing. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put the TV on, and I'm going to do nothing. Thinking suit-ish Ellen Page style. Maybe for like a night out, maybe. Suit and sweatpants. Again, they are going out of the evening. Not to like a posh restaurant or anything. But... like, I imagine Eurydice is probably... Let's do Eurydice. Big. Eurydice is also quite top heavy, usually. Although I think that's shoulder pads mostly. And see, that's the thing, I imagined Eurydice in a dress. Like kind of almost slightly too... what's the word I'm looking for? Almost slightly too formal for the occasion. Like, she's sort of defined by the fact that she overthinks things. And worries about everything. Every tiny detail. And she's already wearing a suit at work, so I want to try and draw something different. Maybe she will wear a suit. Literally an egg for a head. Yeah, no, your mind immediately went for the suit without the shirt. Oh, right, just sort of like a suit jacket sort of thing. Okay. Yeah, that could work. She's also, for some reason, barefoot in the office, but then again, most people are. Showing off some ribcage bandages, yeah. She's probably got a nice necklace with an ankh on it, or something. Some sort of Egyptian symbol of heritage. Let's sort of do the under bit first, and then do another version with the jacket on, maybe. See, the problem is I always want to draw Eurydice either holding something or with sort of her hands like that. Try not to cover things up. Maybe a headdress if she's going way too formal. I think even that might be going a bit much. She definitely did it once, but I don't think she does it regularly. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of there's part of me that kind of imagines that Yuri and Luna are a thing, but mostly because I like the dynamic of the two of them. Of this sort of, I don't know. I feel like that's sort of an interesting, this sort of over worrying character who's sort of paralyzed by options and stuff, and Luna who's much more laid back and is just sort of like, no, just don't, stop thinking about it. So I imagine Luna would say, not the headdress today. Don't worry about it. Sort of. I don't really know an awful lot of dress styles, but most of what I know about dresses is trying to draw Malachi. That's not how gravity works, is it? Quick observation: if you look at the top half of the body and work out roughly where the middle is in terms of center of mass, and then you point it down, that should be roughly where the middle of the feet are. And they're not. They're leaning forwards, which means that she will be very soon leaning back. Unless, of course, that is what you're going for. Somebody who is just about to fall over. In which case, bear that in mind. But, let's... Oh, that's nice. Got me drawing ruffles now. Drapey sleeves. Yeah. And that sort of... big old belt. I like the big old belt. A lot of my characters have big old belts. They break up the body in a cartoony fashion. You're just imagining her most informal clothes are those t-shirts with the soup prints on them. Luna bought them as a compromise. But look, I know you don't like being informal, so I bought you these. Just try and relax. Just try. I drew those legs for nothing. Also, hi Ragnar, how you doing? Maybe a bit higher. Maybe a bit more sort of dynamism in terms of shape. That's Jaws. What's Jaws doing in my Grim Fandango? Just grading and getting lectures prepped. Marvellous. Are they getting on well so far? Start of the year? And you're going through Pinterest looking for dresses. I do need to get more like outfit ideas and draw characters, draw like the outliers in them or something. Although to be fair, the outliers, most of their ideas for clothes come from the thing that I put them in. Oh, I'm doing a Dishonored thing. Okay, draw them in Dishonored clothes. Oh, I'm doing a Final Fantasy VII thing. Put them in Final Fantasy VII clothes or whatever. So, there's not much that needs to be done in that. Does that look right? Maybe with a bit of decoration on it. It looks like a bathrobe. A fluffy, flowy dress actually really works with the mummy, yeah? Yeah. Got to draw it right. Most of them are, but it's a handful you need to poke back into getting work done. Yeah. Made myself a Pinterest board for Parsley and sometimes just scroll, I can't speak today, my apologies, through Pinterest to see anything cute for him. That way you can just pick up an outfit when you have to draw him. See, this is kind of the trouble I have, is I wouldn't even know how to start a thing. Like, I feel like it's mostly Malachi, let's face it. His taste in clothing is so far removed from my own that it's difficult. And I don't really notice clothes on other people. I'm just sort of more interested in their face, what's going on there. You know, the mouth moves, sounds come out. That's interesting. Let's focus on that. Yeah, how can I make this look less like a bathrobe? I guess by making sure this is a belt. Some more sort of... I don't think the sleeves work. I mean, they work, they cover the arms, but... I think maybe... You'd be the sort who sort of wears sleeveless. Because, I mean, let's face it, she's already covered. Does that make any sense? Is that right? I'll assume it is for now. You can have like a couple of little... couple of little bangles and things. Ah, dear. Stream died on your end for a bit. Oh no. I have dropped no frames. I have been live for 50 minutes? What? Okay, half the stream's gone. How do sleeves work is also all too relatable with sewing. Came here to draw outfits, not hands. Yeah. Unfortunately, outfits require hands, usually. Particularly if there are gloves involved. Yeah. Hello again, Jibby. Hope you had a good trip. Hope you enjoyed the bright, horrible world of not internet. And then again, the world of the internet's not exactly pleasant, is it? Oh yeah, Hunk and Punk. There's another couple of characters I forgot about the names of. They're named after the fact that in the southwest of England, gargoyles are occasionally referred to as hunky punks. They're the two gargoyles on the front of the building. Hunk and Punk. Yeah, I just when I was looking up gargoyles, I discovered that in Cornwall they are occasionally referred to as hunky punks. I thought, I'm having that. Okay, so we've got this. But then also... They have well, I mean, they've been in like 3 comics, so how many has the Blob been in? He doesn't have a name yet. Again, I think the only reason they have a name is because I saw the word hunky punk. Draw babes with disability, hashtag on Insta, and maybe you won't need to draw hands. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there was a comic that I will probably end up doing. Involving Tori, that's kind of... Because I made sort of 2 comics that were roughly the same, and then I realised that one was actually a kind of positive message about, you know, not expecting other people to be able to do the things that you do just because you can do them. And Tori's kind of like a good vector for that, because Tori does not have fingers. And it's like, can't expect somebody without fingers to do the things that people with fingers can do. Also, it's the only comic I've ever done where I've ever come up with where Griff gets one up on... Tori gets one up on Griff. So, that'll happen at some point. Originally, the kind of idea I had for Griff was that they're the kind of annoying person who thinks they know everything, but they became more interesting the moment that I made them the character who thinks that they can do your job better than you can, and they can. It made them just that little bit more annoying that they were right. So it's kind of nice to have a comic where, for once, he's not. Sort of giving it a bit more for the arms. I like it with the jacket more. But is that just personal preference, or is that good design? I don't know. It's a miss! Really the worst kind of people. Hello, miss! You cannot enter a chat and describe by describing the exact opposite of you. Hello, how are you? You alright? Here's a quick rundown of what you've missed in the last 56 minutes. Here is my warm-up doodle of October with the t-shirt. I don't know where the t-shirt came from, but it's there. Then there was Griff, who is exactly the same but with a jacket and no tie. And then there is Tori, who apparently wears jumpers, shorts, and long socks. Don't know how we arrived at that, but we did. And now Yuri, who's wearing a dress with a jacket over the top. Have you had a good week? Hope you've had a good week. Yeah, we should probably work out Luna at some point. It's cute and balanced with interesting with the jacket. It feels like, because that's the one thing with the dress, is because it's all the same. Unless there's a pattern on it that changes as you go down, it does tend to be a bit sort of one thing. Having a jacket sort of breaks it up. Or having, like, you know, trousers on underneath or whatever. Some striking shoes, just something to sort of break up the levels. I guess that's what the belt's for, really, I guess. You've had a good week? Yeah. Marvellous. Who else is in this comic? I mean, Luna is. We should draw Luna. We also, I also need to design a bartender. So if anyone has an idea for who would be a bartender, someone with lots of arms, like the amygdala from Bloodborne. Just wear jeans under your fancy dress. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wearing anything. It's just cloth. At the end of the day, it's just cloth. Doesn't really matter. If you like it, you like it. And I feel strongly about that, which is why I invented Malachi. Okay, let's just draw Luna. See how it goes. There's another character I never really know how they work in 3D. Let's have them draw it facing this way, because... I don't think it's shameful to admit that I got so frustrated at the fact that I couldn't work out how to draw Luna consistently, that I did end up looking at furry art, because they get it right. So I've looked up some tutorials on that. It's like, okay, this is how you do sort of snouty sort of things. Get the basic shape of this triangle, this sort of trapezoid shape, and so on and so forth. Fell off your bike for the first time. That's not good. Oh, you think of it as an experience. Okay, that's fair enough. As long as you weren't hurt too much. Anywho. Yeah. Have I ever mentioned my theory that it was the Disney Robin Hood film that made lots of people furries when they got older? I ever talked about that? Furry artists are the nicest people. I've had nothing but fine interactions with people who have turned out to enjoy that sort of thing. I definitely talked about Robin Hood before during the streams. That's probably just because the songs keep coming into my head. There's good songs in that film. Does beg the question, though. Can you extrapolate that? Okay, they became furries because they liked the Robin Hood, so what if they liked the Hair Bear bunch? What happens then? They're into very hairy people? Personally attacking you. There is a small sliver of conversation here where that would not incriminate you. and I'm trying to work out where that is. um. I never quite. Yeah. Not looking right at the moment. Why is it not looking right? It's hard, you know. It's hard to draw wolf men or wolf women. I'm just still amazed that I managed to design this character and put them in a comic as one of the main characters without realising the connection to furries. It's like I don't exist on the internet. You're not a furry, but if anything could turn you to be a furry, it would be that Robin Hood movie and only that. Fair enough. What about the Sword and the Stone movie? Would you be attracted to moving furniture? I had some weird stuff in that film, didn't it? No. I love it when the messages in chat are so succinct. Just like, no. Stop talking. Zootopia could do it too. I think that's feedback. I think that's... People watched the Robin Hood movie, they became furries, they became artists, they joined animation studios, they pitched an idea for something like the Robin Hood movie, and now it's just feeding back. And it'll get stronger and stronger as time goes by. Anyway, here's a worried-looking Luna. Still doesn't look right. Snout's too long. Bill's not low enough. That's better. Zootopia could do it too. I know, I'm just saying that I reckon it's just going to amplify. The effect of Zootopia is amplified by the fact that that was probably partly inspired by the Robin Hood, which I'm sure itself was inspired by something prior. Probably a picture book of some description. Anywho, there's a Luna. Still haven't done anything to do with anatomy. Does that surprise you? Probably not. What would these characters drink? I don't know. Luna would drink something strong just to get through the week. She is not happy with her job. But she likes everybody there too much to let everything fall apart by her leaving. Have you seen furry artists, though, to have that grasp on animal anatomy, to be able to morph it into human anatomy, and then also to put human emotion into the face? Heck, yeah. Through my my time with Jockeytober last year, I experienced just how difficult that is when I tried to draw a horse on two legs, and everyone went, "That looks horrible." Luna spiked the punch with coffee. That sounds exactly right. Caffeinated vodka. That's a big ol' hand. Big ol' paw. Now a tiny glass. Let's come up with a nice. Okay, the shoulder should be about this. There we go. And that was Art Tips with Crispy. You put there. An upper and downer, like Red Bull vodka, just great for the body. Luna's got big hands. Should have gone full BoJack Horseman, just horse head and human body. I mean, kinda did that with Tori. Had the hooves on the hands, and you saw it. Does Tori have a tail? I've never drawn him with one. But I mean, maybe it's tucked in, I don't know. Just goes to show how little I have drawn these characters. But I guess also proves I haven't drawn them without clothes. I don't know what benefit that gives me. Doing more pin-up art. Tori pin-up. That's questionable intent. What's Luna doing with this arm? That'll do. Pin-Up-tober. Ah, you missed a trick there. Stuck in his pants because there's no tail hole. Yeah. I mean, thing is, if you cut a tail hole, like, that's just a hole. You know? Anything can get in there. Any Toba art thingies anyone going to following? I did briefly consider doing Jockey Toba again. But I feel like that joke has passed. Also, just can't be bothered. No, I just want to focus on getting stuff up and running again. I'd rather spend the time working on other things. What music can we put on in the background without getting sued? Tori. You're doing OC Toba. Is that a thing? I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, you're drawing Ra. Forgot about that. Is it Ra or Rag? Did we ever work out? Is it Rach? Rach. I need a drink in order to pronounce that properly. There may be one pinup on that list. Pinup Rach. Rach. Nobody knows, not even you. I didn't even name them, they were just hobgoblins. I draw 2 hobgoblins in exactly 1 frame on 1 stream. And now they have their own thing. Right, what does Luna wear out on an evening out? I hope to get more creative juices flowing with an October thing, yeah. Pinned up on the wall. Yeah. You picked them up and ran far, far away with them. That's fair. The Forest of Doom is not a nice place for a couple of hobgays to live. You know, there are such evil things as an old oak chair covered in moss. My temptation is just to go business casual with all of them, just have them with an undone jacket. Just some relaxed trousers, t-shirt, shirt underneath, and it's like, eh. Again, like I say, I imagine Luna's spare time is entirely taken up with just collapsing after work and then falling asleep. You ever a casual dress? I don't know. I can't see her wearing or enjoying wearing dresses, if that makes sense. Just throw on a dress and some sneakers. How does one develop a character? You come up with a cliche and then you try and change it. And you chase the tail of that change until you eventually end up with something new. Dressed with a jean jacket. Oh no, she might wear double denim. That feels a bit Luna. Jeans and jean jacket. Yeah, I just feel like she's more of a sort of trousers person than she is a skirt or dress. A blazer in your best jeans, fine sir. Jurt jean skirt? That's just a denim skirt, isn't it? What makes something jeans? Is it just the fact that it's made of denim? A jean skort. What's a skort again? Short skirt? Skort, shorts? What's a skort? I don't know. Denim boots. I mean, she does wear jeans normally, so... I don't know. I'm kind of drawn to the whole sort of denim jacket sort of thing. All of her clothes are ripped. That's just a consequence of her nature. Skort is shorts with the skirt thing on top. On top? Or like a skirt belt? Is that not just shorts with a long belt? I have a fluffy belt, or a flappy belt, I should say. Yeah, let me look up some. Oh, just went to type in denim and I wrote demon. Okay, let's go. Oh, that looks weird. That looks kind of, I don't know, sort of vaguely Victorian, that sort of... You can wear a skirt, but only if you're wearing shorts underneath. That sort of thing. One mustn't be lewd. But then again, I suppose if you want to wear a skirt, but you also want to be warm, personal preference. Denim demon, denim. Well, Mal, I don't think Mal's wearing denim. I can't see Mal in denim. Like a flap, so it looks like a skort. A flap, so it looks like a skort from the front. It's something that's half skort. Ah, my brain. Does that make it a quarter skirt? Went to get ice cream, came back to the one mustn't be lewd in this house. I was just talking about skorts. Also, when you're sporting and you don't want to flash your underwear. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's for sort of personal cover. I understand that. But then it's a question of when you wear shorts. I guess it's a comfort thing. But it's not really a comfort thing because you are wearing shorts. I don't know. I don't understand fashion. But as I have said before, it's cloth. Wear what you want. It's cloth and it's your body. Go wild. Yeah, the picture of Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake in all denim. No, I don't. Oh, wow. Okay, that's quite something. Yeah, that dress doesn't look half bad. Is that just me? I quite like the sort of slightly going off to the side, sort of stripe down the front. This clearly seems to be assembled from jeans, rather than just jean fabric. I don't know, something about it. The cut's quite nice. Yeah. Goes to show my taste, doesn't it? It's the 90s, yes. I will say, Justin Timberlake clearly is the one who has aged of the two of them. How old was Britney Spears then? Looks older than she is today. Anyway, it's amazing how some people are like, they look so different in 20 years or whatever. Not necessarily better or worse, they just look so different, and then there are other people who look identical. Jeans are weird. Not that kind of jeans. Different sort of jeans. I feel like I need something nice under the jean jacket thing. She likes the jean jacket, but she wears something nice. Maybe that was the thing. Yeah, it just doesn't feel. Nah. Doesn't feel lunar. Deep thoughts with Crispy. I wouldn't say, isn't it weird how some people look the same and other people look different? Oh, strange, isn't it? This has been Thought of the Day on BBC Radio 4. It is strange, right? Sometimes there are some crisps that go off real quick, and you open the bag and they're soggy after like a week. But there are other ones you find in the back of the cupboard after like a year and they're still good. Isn't that strange? This has been Thought of the Day. She's wearing something underneath that. Yeah. I don't know. She would wear that, but would she wear that on a day out? Probably not. Or a night out. Luna, why are you giving me such trouble? You would just wear what you wear to the office, and I don't want to draw you in something else. Stop being happy with the clothes you're wearing. Stop being like me. And having absolutely no change of clothes in your wardrobe whatsoever. I get the same but with a pattern on it. It might just be a fact of changing the colours, to be honest. Yeah, just sort of a patterned hoodie. Oh, Hawaiian. Ah. A hoodie. I can see a hoodie over a Hawaiian shirt. I can see that. Oddly enough. I was tempted to buy a nice sort of patterned Hawaiian shirt the other day, and then I remembered I'd look like Milton Jones with a beard. There's nothing wrong with that. It just looks vaguely like I'm trying to look funny. You know what I mean? I just thought it was nice. Also, money. I had a real fancy tie with stripes. Oh no, Luna wouldn't wear a tie. Just all the clashing patterns. No, she wears sort of a... I'm not the sort of person who suits a Hawaiian shirt. I don't suit a lot of things. Yeah, she's in a she's in a shirt, which is more than more than she normally would be. You know, she's always wearing a hoodie. I've never drawn her with her hood up. I wore a shirt and made a sign. What more do you want? Does her hood have ear holes? Again, that sort of eliminates the point of the hood, doesn't it? It'll protect you from rain. I mean, it might have ear flaps. Is the music gone? It's probably just quiet. Yeah, it's just quiet. That's what you get with game soundtracks. They're always in the background. Yeah, so it might have like little ear, sort of ear flaps. Or her ears could push forward, maybe. As would her face fluff. Oh no. You're slowly pushing me towards drawing furry art. Ah, oh, wouldn't it be really cute, this anthropomorphic wolf in this... Ah, oh, it's cute, draw it. Draw the cute anthropomorphic animal. Yeah, whoever said Hawaiian shirt. Bang on. Thanks. I've just... I always do this for sort of... This is where the stitching would go on shoes. This is not sort of the colours of the broken Converse she usually wears. I just imagine these as being like normal shoes that have burst through, but... Because, I mean, you've got claws that are really sharp. They're going to break through. But I just like the idea that she puts on shoes not for work, but for social occasion. Decaffeinated Luna coming into work on an autumn day with her hood up. Too cute an image. Till someone comments and she rips them apart. Because, you know, lack of coffee. It's a cliche of, you know, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. But I guess in this instance, it's more, if you do talk to me before I have my coffee, you may not survive to tell the tale. Nobody has yet successfully talked to me before I've had my coffee. It's difficult to get the hood to work here. The hood would sort of go around the outside like that. Who would win, Hyde or decaffeinated Luna? Hyde wouldn't fight. Hyde would shout. And if it actually came to a fight, he'd leave. I think that's the difference between Luna and Hyde. Luna would fight. Hyde wouldn't. Because that was the whole joke behind the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing, is that idea of the nice, polite manager who never gets anything done because they're too polite to ask anyone to do anything, and the manager who shouts and never gets anything done because they have no real control or goodwill to get anyone to do anything. So they're both just as impotent as each other. So the idea of Hyde actually winning in anything doesn't seem right. The office just slowly trickling out as a screaming war happened. It's happened more than once, I imagine. Luckily, he turned back to Jekyll just in time for everyone to not be fired. I'll stop doing that. Clip Studio, what are you doing? What are you doing? Keep it here. Whoever wins, we lose our jobs. How many draw hoods up? I need to do more Assassin's Creed fan up. I don't know. In case of screaming matches, please find your nearest exit. I think that's just a given. You'll be paid for the rest of your shift, so don't worry about that. It'll be fine. You are welcome to return to the office once you hear the sound of profuse apology, wherein you will be surely given free gifts. Assassin's Creed and Fairy Art is now on the to-draw list. What a strange list. Hinky? I do like the name Hinky. Ah, it's the main theme of the game. Yeah, how do hoods work? Let me look at it. Reference. Should use reference at some point. Hood. Just the amount of images that are not hoods. Oh look, there's Robin Hood. There's an anthropomorphic bear. It's not Hinky, it's a Hunk. But again, I wouldn't blame you for not knowing the names of 2 characters who have appeared in 3 comics. And I'm pretty sure Hunk's only been named in 1 of them, so it's Hunk and Punk. New gargoyle named Hinky. It's Hunk's sister. They're for the back door. I'm sure they're all over. There are some on the roof, obviously. They just came with the building. But you know, they like the job. That makes more sense. Hinky Punk. It's not very gargoyle-like. It's a Hunky Punk. Also, strictly speaking, not a gargoyle, a grotesque. Of gargoyle being something through which water filters. Like a drain pipe sort of thing. Which is also where we get the word gargle. From the same root. If they aren't bathing water, they ain't no gargoyle. Exactly. And I'm pretty sure Hunk and Punk. They don't do that anymore. They did it for a bit, mostly to see who could do the most. But they were placed on a couple of weeks disciplinary leave, and now they don't do it anymore. I just want a picture. I just want a picture of somebody with a hood up. That's so much to ask. Anyway, there's option number 1. And then there's option number 2. Oh, wrong layer. Luna looks so much younger with her hood up. I think it's the hair coming forward, maybe. Some of their hoodies have ear holes because you think if Pal wears a hoodie without ear holes, they're no longer able to look left or right. Again, I feel like a hoodie with ear holes is like an umbrella with a hole cut in the top of it to see what the clouds look like. I feel like rather they would just tailor specific, particularly if it's a goblin thing, you would invent clothing that goes around the ears. That's why clear umbrellas exist. That's fair. So you'd have like plastic ear coverings. Or just an umbrella. Probably be the easier thing. Right. Well, that's a lot of stuff. Also, these will get cold, they get wet. Wind will get in there, rain will get in there. It's not good. It's the same reason you don't have a tail hole in your trousers. I think Pal has a bit of both because you remember drawing them a hoodie with ear holes, but they're a winter hat with the ears. Yeah, see? You can do both, it's no problem. Depends on the material and the function. Or, if your ears are that big, you probably have things explicitly designed just to keep those warm. So, I mean, we've got earmuffs. So I don't see why goblins wouldn't have, like, gloves but for ears. Have you not seen the D&D art community reworking the tail hole fashion to make it practical? No, I haven't, funnily enough. I'm just imagining, like, roofing tiles. I don't know why. It's just surrounded with roofing tiles. Make the rain go that way. Hold, please. I'll try and actually draw something for the next 30 minutes. There's Claudio and PD, but I don't think they really wear much different, to be honest. They're not exactly formally dressed, and as I say, Claudio, I think, is stitched into their clothes, so... Ear gloves. Or globes. That's a thing. That's already a thing. Still think all Claudio should wear a band shirt, but that's fine. The thing is that, like, at first I would say, oh yeah, he's stitched into his clothes, but then I'd also say, surely he knows how to sew. You know, there is a comic about that. So he'd know how to unstitch himself. Yeah, I guess that logic kind of falls down, doesn't it? Wear a band shirt over his sewn-in clothes. That's true. Yeah. So he'd know how to unstitch himself. Ha 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 ha! You have me in stitches. Wear a band shirt like a dress. I don't think you'd find one small enough that it just wouldn't entirely cover him. So it'd have to be one that he made himself out of like a merch handkerchief or something. I imagine Claudio's quite good at sewing. I have to come up with a fake band as well. Not enough merch handkerchiefs these days. You can tell I don't go to gigs and buy merch. Can't you? The first thing that comes to mind is a handkerchief. I mean, just bandana would have done. They probably sell bandanas. That's a well, it's not a cool thing, but it's a rock thing, isn't it? Yeah, I'll draw Claudio. Why not? Dress made out of the sleeve from a band shirt. That would, yeah. See, occasionally there are just things that sort of pop into my mind about this whole thing, where like, am I really gonna bother trying to answer this question? Because I thought, like, he probably wouldn't wear a dress like out and about, but he might just wear one as just sort of a thing to wear around the house when he's hungover. And then I thought, wait, does he get hungover? Then I thought, wait, does he drink? It's like, am I gonna go down this rabbit hole? How does the biology of my haunted doll work? If only done unstitching an old dress so you can make a pattern from it. Yeah. Can't find what you're looking for. I sent you, it was extra fabric to form a little sleeve for the tail. Or just an inch or so, like a tiny trouser leg for the tail, so you don't just have a hole there. But it was cute. Fair enough. I was thinking, like, when I originally sort of designed Claudio bloody ages ago, I sort of imagined the hair was like rope. But it doesn't sort of work as rope. So would it be like chunky wool or something? Oh, hello, what's this? Some of these. I mean, less of those feel like just, you know, tailored. Haha. Most of them feel like specifically designed for that purpose, and more just like, this is how you put a hole in clothing. Let's put one where a tail would be. Also, how does Claudio's neck work? I don't think he has one. So people who make custom dolls make dreadlocks from chunks of yarn. See, yeah, I think that's the thing. It's a big chunky wool. Some big old buttons for eyes. The eyebrows probably made of felt. What Jimmy said. I mean, I don't think it's dreadlocks. I think, well, I guess it's supposed to represent dreadlocks, but they're not sort of like actually twisty. They're just solid. Well, I mean, all thread is twisty, I guess. That's how you make thread. This is not a good picture of Claudio. Sometimes his face eludes me. Again, I've been drawing this character for like 7 years. Still haven't got the hang of it. Anyway, here's a rock band shirt thing. Yeah, that's cool. And in this particular comic, audio and PD are the double act, so I do feel like once October and Co's ended, I will probably keep drawing Claudio. Probably more Claudio and October stuff. I'm almost at 50 as well. I've just done the 49th comic. The aim is 100, so see if we can get there. How does that work when everyone's only got 3 fingers? So it works like that, I guess. Or it doesn't, and you just ignore it. And you go, thumbs ups are easier to do. Claudio and Octo, both built by other people and given life. A fitting pair. I wonder how many of my characters are not naturally formed. This is the thing, in a world full of monsters. What? How? How far do you want to go down that rabbit hole? Okay, Luna's a wolf woman. Are there normal women? Are there human women in this world? Eurydice is a mummy. What was mummified? Like, is this a post-apocalyptic thing where all the humans have died out but the monsters kept living? I don't know. Why didn't I bother drawing the body for this thing before I went into detail? Pretty sure that's too big as well. Well, it might not be. It's too low. Excuse you, Luna is totally a normal woman. You know what I mean. Why do you need the clarification of wolf? Well, I guess there are probably other types. There's other nouns you can stick in front of it. Monsters are the only ones that adapted, humans didn't. Bit sad, isn't it? My happy-go-lucky webcomic. This is about the fall of humanity. This is awful. Why does this look so bad? Probably because I drew the screen in a perspective and that perspective doesn't work anymore, maybe? Oops. You can tell I don't work on paper, don't you? You can tell I'm a digital boy. Digital boy. Digital monsters. A normal human is super rare. then again, why are the variations on humans more common? If you're a monster, does death not happen? Ah, this looks so bad. Why does this look so bad? Ah, my ability to draw has just vanished. If anyone finds it, please return it to me. Yeah, do you know what? Screw that. As said in Umbrella Academy, it's not the end of everything, it's the end of something. Yeah, pretty much. What was this? Ah, it's the end of the world. No, it's probably the end of humans. The end of the world will take a lot more effort than that. There was that Human comic, wasn't there? Of sort of an anthropomorphized Mother Earth embracing a human, and human saying, I'm sorry for everything we've done. We're destroying everything. We got bombs and destroying forests and all that. Oh, I'm so sad. Can you forgive us for what we've done? And Mother Nature's like, oh, you silly thing. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine. You're just killing yourselves. Nature will come back. Nature don't care. It'll do its thing. Yes. Am I going to draw PD? Let's draw PD. Mother Earth is beyond us. Better? Right. The Tori music, it is, yes. You can tell by the motif. Do, 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 do. Oh, I have just turned off my drawing tablet, by which I mean I knocked the power cable slightly, and everything is now static. No one is insignificant is also another nice thing that was said in Umbrella Academy. No. Used to have been on the dance floor all night, right up at the DJ booth, and you can't convince me otherwise. They have put so much money in the jukebox. And no one else is happy about it. Sorry, I'm just drawing now. Reminds me you have yet to watch the Jessica Kellgren-Fazard's new video about that. I have no idea who that is. Because again, it's me. And if I knew what something was, then it would be Dark Souls. Because that's all I know. Is it Dark Souls? No. Is it Final Fantasy? No. Was it made in Britain in the 1960s? No. Then I don't know it. Wonder if there is a community of anthro-electrical equipment out there. These are the right words to describe BD. Cyborgs, I guess? At least I know what I know. Yes. Oh, algebra. That's another one. I was thinking the other day, and this is such a niche annoyance. I was thinking the other day how annoying it is that imaginary numbers are called imaginary numbers, because that's so off-putting a name. And they're not that complicated. They are so simple to explain. If you can understand square roots, you can understand imaginary numbers. They're no more complicated than that. But they're called imaginary numbers. It's like, why? You want people to hate maths? She's a disabled YouTuber, but you don't have to have a disability to watch her videos, so it just feels good. It'd be a bit weird to block off things like that. I'd imagine one of the best things about sort of being somebody with a disability on YouTube is that you can share your experiences with people who otherwise would not understand, or who would not have that sort of perspective in life, and thus education spreads and people can learn about things that they wouldn't have experienced firsthand. That's the wonder of the internet, is that it can inform and educate and help people empathize. Be a bit weird if you had a disabled YouTube and it's like, you can only watch this if you are also disabled. Cannot understand square roots, that's when your maths adventure stopped. A square root of 2 is just, okay, we need a number that when we multiply it by itself, you get 2. That's it. It's like when you take 3 and you multiply 3 by itself, you get 9. It's just we need a number that, if you multiply it by itself, you get a specific number. Some numbers, those numbers turn out to be really nice. Like 9, the square root of 9, it's a nice number, it's 3. Square root of 16, that's a nice number, it's 4. Square root of 15, not so nice, but it's still a number. It's just, all you have to remember is, okay, if I multiply it by itself, I get 15. You don't have to convert it into a decimal form if you don't want to. Just leave it as square root of 15 and just move it around like any other number. And that's my annoyance, is that this obsession with going, we need to compare all these numbers together and put it on the real number line, and we need our continuum and our analysis and all that. And I'm like, if you just keep it algebraic, just teach people how to move numbers around rather than converting them between lots of different forms, then everything will be fine. And imaginary numbers are just like, okay, it's like a square root, but you put a negative number in there. Oh no. If I multiply this by itself, I get -1. What's so hard about that? Very straightforward. Calling it imaginary is insulting. But hey, I like algebra. And historically, analysis has done more stuff. So. Thing is, all numbers were kind of invented that way. You know, the counting numbers, they were invented because, oh, we're out and about and we're hunter-gathering and we have a lot of food, but do we have enough food? Do we have enough food to feed people? Well, I know that I can pair up these fingers with all the people in our tribe. So if I can pair up the food with these fingers and I have no fingers left over, then I'll know it will be right and we'll have the right amount of food. And thus, counting was born. And they put numbers, they put names to those things, and we called them numbers. And then, taxes were invented, and we had to invent the concept of negative numbers. It's like, okay, well, what happens if you try and take 5 away from 3. We don't have a number that can do that. Numbers don't work like that. So, okay. Well, what are we going to put on the taxes then? Okay, invent a number. So we invented negative numbers. And then we went, oh, I've got like 5 bags of flour, but I've got to give it to 3 people. How much of a bag of flour are they going to get? Okay, we'll invent fractions. Then I went, I have a field that's like a mile by a mile, and I want to build a fence right through the diagonal, from one corner to the other. How long's the fence? I need to work out the materials. There's no number for that, but I know that if you square it, you get 2 miles, so let's invent square roots. It's just inventing numbers to solve problems you can't solve. That's all it is. That's not how you learn things in school. I know, that's the problem. I don't know. Why did you forget the PD is a brain in a jar? It's the thing. It's a bit hidden. Again, as we were talking before about where the names come from, and PD is short for Professor Dowell, which is the, as far as I can tell, original literary head in a jar. Brain in a jar is a little more difficult to track down. So, yeah. Yeah, why did you forget that most human beings are just like fleshy bags with hearts and lungs and stuff? It's because the face is more interesting. That's why you invent and name a lot of things to fill in gaps. Exactly. And then eventually they started thinking about all of the numbers in between the rational numbers and realizing that there's a continuum in between any 2 numbers that you can think of. And then Dedekind cuts got invented and it got very messy. But before that, you can talk about imaginary numbers before you even get to transcendental stuff. Like, you can still stay in a countable infinity and talk about imaginary numbers. Basically, human tried to do math. Human found that there was no number that mathed correctly. Ergo, they invented new number. Turns out new number worked really well, so we kept it. And we just kept doing that to more problems. Mostly, well, the ones I like are algebraic problems. And then you can get the algebraic numbers, which are algebraically closed. So you can do all algebra and everything's fine. And then pi comes along and ruins everything. Nah, it's good. Human beings are just skeletons that can move. Pretty much. It's just, you know, you got the basic idea of the skeleton, then you need to put the motors on it, which are the muscles basically, and then you need to get fuel to the muscles. And yeah, it's all a complicated system. But you know, we invented music, so it's not all bad. Then you get into math modeling and E pops up everywhere. Yeah. It doesn't pop up as, in my personal experience, and granted I'm more pure than applied, pi tends to pop up in places it really shouldn't. And E is a little less frequent, but it is still surprising the number of times it does. And art and dancing, yes. And storytelling. This isn't necessarily more interesting, just more attractive to look at. It's just the thing where we get social cues from. You know, we want to understand the implication behind the communication that's happening, so we focus on the face. Somebody did this, a psychologist did this thing where they took photographs of people and then made the size of each part of the body proportional to how much the brain focuses on that part of the body when it looks at someone. And they look really weird. They're like, all the arms are really skinny, the legs are really skinny, the heads are big, the eyes are huge, the hands are big. It's just like, you don't look at most of the body, you just look at the features that we consider important for communication. Yes, huge eyes and massive hands. Can I, what were they called? I don't know how I'm going to search for this, but I'm going to try. I'm trying to remember what they were called. That's annoying. I'll stick it in the Discord after this. If I can find it. Oh, hang on, was it this? No. I don't know, this isn't an interesting stream. Let's end! I wonder how that shifts in different cultures. That is an interesting question. So for a culture that, for example, uses hands and arms more in communication, does that change where people focus? This is why neurotic people find talking with neurodivergent people unnerving a lot. Their faces aren't giving them the same cues they've come to expect. Interesting. Wonder how I feel. Most of my communication is done through text. Wait, hang on, you're made of flesh? You mean you're not a chatbot? What's going on? Show me your circuits. What's it called? Go away, NordVPN. Oh, I'm looking for a psychology thing, and I just saw somebody called Alex Morgan. Oh, hang on, aren't they the siblings in Prey? Oh, I don't know, I'm not going to find it. Alright. People have flesh? What? What's it called? I'm trying to find the thing and I can't remember what the thing is called. Oh, I'll find it at some point. Anywho. Bzz. Thank you for coming to the stream. I could feel my brain shutting down about halfway through, but I think we managed to work through it. Yeah. Thank you for coming along. I am now going to take my stylus. Here it is. And I'm going to put it in its case, and it's not going to come out for a week. I'm going to do no drawing over the course of the next week. I'm having a week off, trying to recharge. Yeah. Hopefully I can get other stuff done, like taxes. And music, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, thank you very much for coming along. I don't know what we're going to do on Tuesday. I'm not going to be doing picnic, obviously. We'll do something else. Maybe find a little silly little game to play or something. Who knows? Yeah, and then Prey on the Wednesday and Saturday, and then Creative again on Sunday. Honk! Something mysterious.
Honk.
Honk indeed. Is that a sticker? I don't think that's a sticker. It should be a sticker. Why is it not a sticker? A little more passion, Hazel. She has no passion. This is a 9-to-5 job. She's putting in just as much effort as is required. And, you know, why blame her for that? We have a try to Jackbox. We do. It doesn't necessarily... I mean, it works, and then other people come in, and then it doesn't. Maybe we can do it on the Discord or something. I don't know. And also, some people are sort of occasionally made uncomfortable by sort of publicly doing these sorts of things. I don't know. We'll work something out. We'll work something. Yeah. Until then, have a wonderful time. Hopefully next week is a wonderful, grand, fantastic time for you all. And if not, show me who made it not, and then I will give them a polite punch in the face. Probably not, because school. Can I punch a school in the face? I think so. Also, I've never punched anyone, so I don't know how that's going to go. Probably poorly. Yeah. Thank you for coming along. Have a wonderful time, everybody. I need to find some music to play for the outro, even though music is playing now, but it's not playing now because I've just turned it off. So I'm gonna find something else. What's good music? Oh, I'll do music that I had in the intro because it's fun. I like Terry S. Taylor. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy yourselves. Be good, be kind, etc. Goodbye.
Yeah.